I've been making a list. I've been checking it twice. I've been squirming at all the cringy things I did as a child. It almost rhymes, okay? Ho ho ho. Yes, it is true. Over the past couple of months, I have been compiling a list of cringy things I did as a kid. Now, this list could go on for quite a while, so I thought I would just bite the bullet and make the video now before I cringe myself out of existence thinking about all these diabolical things that I did as a child. I thought I'd add a little sprinkling of spice to the video, so I am going to rate these events on the cringe scale, ranging from not so bad, all the way to go back in time and give yourself a massive wedgie. I think that's a perfectly reasonable scale. Before we dive in though, I want to introduce you to someone who is very close to my heart. Myself. A younger, more agile, more precious version of myself. A version that you have not really met before. When I was a little boy, I was a clown. I was a clown then, I'm a clown now. I've always been a clown. Not because I like to dress up as a clown, although I realize in the two examples I've given you that I am dressed up as a clown, but because all I have ever wanted is to bring joy and happiness and entertainment to the people around me. It was so important for me to see the people around me happy, even if it was at the expense of my own fragile dignity. This was truly a pivotal moment in PJ history that had a massive influence on shaping the human being I have become today. With that said, please put on your anti-cringe goggles as we're about to dive in to the deep end. Face first, let's go. So I was 8 years old and I was obsessed with this show called Animorphs. It was basically based on these books about kids who had these powers to turn into animals. One time during a lunch break, I pretended that I had these mystical powers and I had turned myself into a snake. But I got stuck halfway through the process. For the better part of an hour, I slithered around the playground like a snake, but in a human's form. Kids watched me as I slithered by, probably thinking, whoa, look at that, half kid, half snake. So cool, I wish I could be a snake. And it was all fun and games until my friend told the teacher, and then the moment she approached me, I couldn't handle it. I snapped out of it. I jumped to my feet as quickly as possible. As far as I was concerned, the past hour was just a weird fever dream. Now, this is pretty cringe, but I wouldn't say it's full needs to be wedgied cringe. I would say this is in the half wedgie territory. Snake? What snake? No, I don't know anything about snakes. I'm just a little boy. 9 years old, and we were talking about war, at least the limited knowledge we had of war. My friends were saying how their great-granddads had fought in the war, and I was kind of having a weird FOMO moment. A faux moment. I told them my granddad had also fought in the war. I told them that he caught an enemy grenade and threw it back before it exploded. I said that he was a hero. I feel like I should disclose that he was not an army veteran. He's a 90-year-old Italian bricklayer who grew up in Cosenza and now makes wine in his garage in his spare time. The wine is delicious, by the way, you gotta try it. I would say that this story, whilst ridiculous, ranks fairly low on the cringe scale. Kids have the wildest imaginations and they say the strangest things. I'm gonna drop this one in the not so bad category. Honestly, I wasn't trying to cash in on any stolen valor. I was always just a storyteller at heart, you know? One time during a crafts lesson, I licked some PVA glue to make my friend laugh. It didn't really taste of much, I didn't get sick, and it made my friend laugh, so in my eyes, it was a win-win-win. After that, I quickly got the reputation of the kid who would just eat glue for fun. It's not really a reputation you want to follow you into your adult life. So later that day, to make the rest of the class laugh, I didn't just start licking the glue, I started drinking it, fully glugging it down like a pirate. They glug, right? Glug? Glug, glug, glug? That's the thing they say, right? No? Everyone was enjoying the spectacle, but when the teacher found out, oh my god. I mean, can you imagine as a teacher, you've been given the task to shape these little humans' lives so that they will grow up to do great things. But you walk over to a circle of them chanting, chug, 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 and then in the middle, there I stand, slurping down this PVA glue. And to make everything worse, this time, I did get sick. I think you can imagine what happened next. This was pretty bad, but I wouldn't exactly say it's that cringy. It's definitely an innocent cringe. I was like 8 years old. If I was doing it now, then I would have to reevaluate my life. When I was roughly 9-10 years old, I got obsessed with hair gel. I would glob so much in my hair to get that rock hard hair look for some reason. One day, my teacher decided I was wearing too much hair gel, which I don't think is a judgment that they have the authority to make, but she did, and she tried to get it out of my hair. The thing to note is that it was a very cheap, horrible hair gel. So vigorously trying to brush it out of my hair basically caused thick white flakes to start emitting from my hair. Every stroke, it just made the white flakes multiply. My head looked like a snow globe. It was horrible. I so vividly remember her saying, "What's going on?" I was like, I don't know, you're the one doing this. This isn't a video of cringy things that happened to me. This is traumatizing things that happened to me. I don't think this one's that bad on the cringe scale, but I did stop using hair gel after this, so it definitely left an impression on me. Ooh, here we go. This is some prime cringe here. Now we're getting to the good stuff. This memory has been vividly burned into my brain for eternity. I'll set the scene for you. I was a little bit older for this one, maybe about 12, and I was staying after school for the Magic the Gathering Club. I was at an age where I loved card games, board games, video games, any kind of game. In particular, I loved Zelda Ocarina of Time, and I had just got to this part of the game where you go into this witch's potion shop in Kakariko Village, and the witch says to you, "Sniff, sniff, sniff. What a mysterious smell. You must have something." There was something about this line that stuck in my head, because whenever I was alone, I would just say it out loud in the weirdest, witchiest voice I could. So, after this Magic the Gathering Club, I was walking home. I checked around me, the coast seemed clear, so I let rip the biggest witch impression I could muster. "Sniff, sniff, sniff, what a mysterious smell. You must have something." And suddenly, to my absolute horror, a man emerged from behind the hedge of the garden I was just walking past, and we locked eyes for far too long. He was staring at me, and I was staring at him. I think he must have thought I was talking to him, because who else could I have been talking to? I was by myself. I vividly remember feeling like I was sinking. Just sinking. Like my skin was just sinking. Oh my God, it was so awkward. What must he have thought? This has to go right to the top of the list. I need to go back in time and give myself a massive wedgie to prevent me from ever doing this. What a mysterious smell. Next, we need to dial it back a couple of years to when I was 10 years old. Me and my friends had all just started getting our very first phones, the Nokia 3310. So we were all texting each other. It was so exciting. One night, me and my friends went to this community center with our parents. It was a regular thing we did as kids. There were games there, arcade machines, music, pool tables, a bar for the parents. Well, using my brick of a phone, I texted this girl I liked saying that me and some friends had just snuck into a nightclub, a 12+ nightclub. Yeah, all those 12+ nightclubs out there. I said to her, to fool the security guard, I had to gel my hair up really big to make it look like I was older. I remember she replied just saying, "Okay." The most soul-crushing 2 letters you can receive in a text. Only slightly behind the most passive-aggressive letter in the human language, K. Clearly, she didn't believe me, and why would she after she knows what happens when I put hair gel in my hair? I do kind of have to commend the logical thought process behind choosing an age rating for this nightclub that is kind of passable for a 10-year-old. You can't blame me for trying though, so this is a solid oof. Don't get me wrong, this is really bad though. This is still very cringy. I was really young for this one, 6 years old. You know, in school when you have someone come in to talk to you about a specialist subject, whether it be a firefighter or a policeman or a doctor? Well, once we had a nurse come in to talk to us about hygiene. He came in, he said to us, "Hello, I'm here today to talk to you about hygiene. Can you say hygiene?" And of course, without missing a beat, I went, "Hygiene." My teacher went mad. She just went, "Get out!" So then I sat outside for the duration of this lesson on hygiene. To this day, I have not had a formal education about hygiene. I've had to just figure it out myself. This one isn't so bad. I think I was just trying to develop my improv skills early and my teacher shut me down. The first rule of improv is that you don't say no. Hygiene. Get out! Okay, here we go. I have left the spiciest, the cringiest for last. I actually was 12 now, so I could get into any 12+ nightclub if I wanted to. Yeah, I had upgraded to a Nokia 3310. With my new phone in my pocket and my newfound confidence, I was ready to text the girl I liked again, this time to ask her out. Before I tell you how I asked her out, there's an important bit of context you need to know. There was this website that I loved as a kid. It was called vgmusic.com. It was basically a website that hosts hundreds of video game soundtracks in MIDI form. I used to listen to these MIDI soundtracks of video games that I loved for hours. Also, I would ring my friends, play some music down the phone, and do impressions of video game characters. I basically discovered what pranks were. My most popular bit was playing the Dr. Mario theme whilst pretending to be Dr. Mario. The test results came back and they're not so good. So yeah, I plucked up the courage to ask out the girl I liked. How would I approach such a pivotal moment in my life? A nicely written card maybe, face to face? No. I decided to go on vgmusic.com, play the GoldenEye 64 soundtrack, and ask her out as James Bond. I said something along the lines of, the name's Bond, PJ Bond. Oh, your mission, if you choose to accept it, is to be my girlfriend. Oh, that hurts to say. That hurts to say. I got an immediate response, by the way, a text message that simply read, no. I responded with a text that said, oh shit, why?
You know, like James Bond.
I don't know, PJ, maybe because you picked the absolute worst way to ask someone out, or maybe she's just not that into you, or maybe both. I truly hope that if she does remember me, it's not as the guy who asked her out as James Bond. Please. Please. He's not exactly the best role model anyway for how to treat ladies. I was 12. I just gotta remind myself, I was 12. What I should have done is texted back very graciously saying, you know what, I'm so sorry about the whole James Bond voicemail thing. If you don't want to be my girlfriend, that is totally fine. But instead, I doubled down and responded, haha, it was just a prank. This was 2002, so I may very well be the first person to say, it's just a prank, bruh. It's just a prank. Whilst awkwardly trying to squirm out of a truly cringy situation. Horrible, just absolutely horrifying. I have to invent a new category on the cringe scale for this one. Super cringe, that's what it is. It's super cringe. That's what we're going for. Super cringe. Holy shit, I could never bring myself to ever play GoldenEye ever again. So there we go, a handful of some of the most stupid, cringy things that I did as a child. There were definitely more, but these are definitely the main ones that make me wake up in the middle of the night in a cold sweat. Like I said, all I ever wanted was to spread positive vibes and entertainment for the people around me. And unfortunately, sometimes that got a bit muddled in my head, resulting in some very cringy things. But as a kid, I didn't know I was being awkward. I mean, hell, at the time, I was completely ignorant to the fact that one day my future self would betray me and make a video broadcasting these very sensitive mishaps to the world. But you know, in a weird way, Lil Clown PJ, he might have wanted this. If any of these stories have brought you, the person watching this, just an ounce of happiness, then in a weird way, I succeeded. I succeeded. Mission accomplished, I guess. Thank you so much for going on this nostalgia trip with me. If you enjoyed this video, please do give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you're new around here and hit that notification bell so you know when I upload a video. Also, please do check out my other videos as I just posted my very first ever proper piano playing video. I'd really love for you guys to check out my progress on that. Also, I'm on Twitter, Instagram, and Twitch. And if you want to support me in any other ways, then please do check out my shop or my Patreon. I appreciate it very much. All right, stay rad and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.